So the left-hand one here, you can say there's not a lot of space there. And for me, the weight just gets a little bit too much on your tiptoes there, okay? A bit more flex in the knee. So when you swing the golf club back now, as you come back to the goal point, you just realise there's no space for your arms to go. And with our limbs being as long as they are, we need space for them to swing. So all you can, I mean, look at your right leg movement now. It's almost like, and from, I'd say more from a health perspective, buddy. If your right leg is doing that,
not going to be good.
Your hamstrings in 10, 15 years' time are not going to like that movement there now. If you're locking that right hip back, your right hip's going backwards, this where the shoulder's going down. So you're kind of getting here and you just can't get off your back foot. So all you can really do now, if you don't give yourself enough space coming back down to counteract your setup, you're going to probably shank it. Some of the time you created space vertically down to hit the ground behind the golf ball. And if you stay on your back foot here now, okay, we could either hit the ground behind the ball, or if we lock the leg back and give ourselves that space, we might just hook it because we're not able to transfer our weight over to the left side. So you'll find your balance sort of post swing now finishing kind of like this before that ball's even got to the peak of its flight, because you've gone from here, the right leg snap back, and then it's like, and then you're not able to sustain that position. So it's set up here now, arms are hanging down, a nice hand width away from your legs. As you said, when you first saw this, you thought you sort of be over here somewhere and you'd be stretching out there. Yeah. But you're nowhere near that, but obviously reel and feel. Yeah. I think you've got to start with the setup. Let me go back to start now. Start with the setup, club first, feet together. Yeah. Get that. Then get that, get your distance, and then build that into your swing. So you sort of work from the club, up the shaft to the grip, up the shoulders with your posture, get your backside sticking out, and then get your legs working around that, okay? So you do it all in the right... I think if you try and stand with your feet first to guess the distance, then you're always going to be reacting, and it's very hard to guess how far from the ball you're going to stand. But we know the club goes behind the ball, so at least we can get some space there. So as you go back here now, we can turn into that right heel. Good backswing position at the top there now. Now, obviously, your body's still used to reacting back, so that leg is still going to do it a little bit. But because there's a lot more space, and you realise after a while you can do that, the right leg sort of kicked back into him. But okay, I can start releasing the body through now. So when you finish this one, that ball's, and you're still in that same position, and you're able to rotate and at least stay there. And that's the key thing. If you can stand and finish and hold that position, I'm not saying every time you hold the position it'll be a good shot, but more often than not, when you aren't holding the position, it will be a bad shot. Yeah. So if we can eliminate how bad the bad shot is, as you sort of start, the first 10 you hit was a really good kind of sample of shots you're going to hit. The first 4 good ones were like middle of the fairway, okay, and then you had 1 too far left, 2 fat shorts, 1 block to the right, and then 2 shanks, whatever. Yeah. And that's kind of your golf in a nutshell, which is a very inconsistent ball flight. So your dispersion levels were all over. Yeah. Those last sort of 4 or 5, at least that pocket is getting a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I think all bar one of the miss were hook or draw as well.
And the drawy ones are going to probably be more common at the moment now, because your body, you're going to certainly get into your right side more, but you're just used to staying back there and not moving off your right side, yeah? Partly because you couldn't. You had to try and find space. Once you realise, and again, this is a bit of practice, once you realise when you're up here now, that you don't need to sort of do this with your back leg, you can actually start shifting your weight towards target now, so this hip can start moving towards target that way, rather than sort of pushing backwards and your leg locking back, which is going to be more from a health perspective. You're going to give your arm, I mean, your arm's got days to swing through. I mean, look at all that space your arms have got to swing. It's almost too much in some ways, because you've added space on the way down, which we don't need to do. Yeah. But what we want to do eventually is get yourself here where you've got that space, and now when you feel the space there, we can shift towards target. This leg and knee can start moving towards the golf ball here, rather than you going back into your glutes and your hammy there, and just from a health perspective, mate, it's going to be tough. So hopefully what we will probably see.
Times, you know?
Yeah, I think there's a couple you had.
Felt to get tighter. I'm looking at do yoga and stuff, and I play a lot of tennis, so it's
not
too harmful for me at the moment.
Yeah, you're still young, fit and healthy, mate. But
I mentioned to my friend, he's like, I've never felt my hamstring playing golf before.
So, exactly, yeah. So but you could say, I mean, anyone who knows what the body part, if your right leg's doing that, that's going to put some pressure on your hamstrings if you're not careful. I think over time, initially, you'll probably get a few kind of like toey thins. Happy days. Toey thins are always better than fatty shanks,
All right. I've hit fat shank, and I actually hit a fat shank once, and that was devastating. Luckily, it wasn't a lost ball, because it was fat and shank.
Exactly, But if
it doesn't feel good.
Toey thins, at least they get you around the golf course, mate. All right, buddy?
All right, perfect.
Very good.
Thank you very
Really
much.
good. My pleasure.